Week 4 of the NFL season begins in a few hours, and I've got my quarterback rankings going into week 4. Now, this is not a power rankings video. I'm going to rely on a little bit more of these players' history and their careers, a little bit more than I would in a power rankings video, but I'm still heavily basing these rankings off of the recent games that these players have played. Now, I'm pretty tired. It's early in the morning here in Italy, so let's get right into it. Starting out with the bottom tier. Is there anything else on? When you watch these quarterbacks, you might wonder, is there a better game on right now? Is there a big matchup on right now? I don't want to watch my favorite team. I want to watch a different team. Is there any has basketball started yet? That's Carson Wentz, that's Tua, that's Bryce Young, that's Jake Browning, that's Mac Jones, Joe Flacco, Mariota, Rattler, and Tyrod Taylor. Now all the greens you'll see. Yep, all the greens. Of course they are. What am I thinking? These are all backup quarterbacks coming in. They weren't on my list last time because I didn't expect them to start these or any games this year. Most of them are for injuries. Rattler, I didn't expect him to be the starter. And then I do want to add all these quarterbacks that I'm ranking are only the quarterbacks that are expected to start in week 4. So if they're injured, if they're benched, they're not on this list. But then for Tua, Bryce Young, and Joe Flacco, they've moved down. They haven't been what I expected. Joe Flacco, I thought it was going to be a lot of touchdowns, a lot of interceptions. It's only been the interceptions part. Bryce Young, he looked a lot better towards the end of last year. I thought he was finally climbing up, and now he's back to his old Bryce Young ways. And then for Tua, I think he's highly overvalued because of this Mike McDaniels system. Without Mike McDaniels, he'd be looked at by everyone else like I look at him in that bottom tier. All right, going up to the second tier, everything. Everybody's in this tier. Rookie, a final year, retirement year, and everything in between. We have Dart in his rookie year. I've already got him in the second tier. I like what I saw from him out of preseason. We've got Drake May and Penix in their second years, dropping a little bit. I think both will rise once again, though. And then we have Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones. For both of them, they're sort of in the middle of their career, but they've been on a completely different trajectory. We have Trevor Lawrence coming out, one of the most hyped quarterbacks in the last 10 or so years. And as his career has gone on, his stock has gone down and down and down. And then for Daniel Jones, his stock recently obviously has been going way up. So one's going way down, one's going way up. Trevor Lawrence, I'm losing a lot of faith in him. I still got faith in Jaguars, but he's got to play a lot better. Daniel Jones, he shocked me. Last quarterback rankings, I had the bottom tier named after him. It was the Daniel Jones tier. And he has gone up. Now, he's only jumped up one tier, but that's a huge jump from going up from having the bottom tier named after you to going up to the next tier. He has really silenced me. Now, he hasn't played as well as people are making it seem. They're making it seem like he's a top 10 quarterback right now or something. He hasn't been playing like that. But he has been playing a lot better than I think anyone expected, and especially than what I expected. He deserves to move up. All right, to the third tier. Forgotten. Both of these guys, Kyler Murray and Cam Ward, are kind of forgotten. You know what? Really forgotten. Cam Ward, is he the least talked about first overall pick in sports history? I hear more about Jackson Dart and Shador than this guy. I hear more about Shador than this guy and a couple other first round picks combined, right? I'm hearing more about Tyler Shaw now than I am about Cam Ward. He is spectacular to watch. When I watch him, obviously the Titans have had a terrible time this year, but when I watch him, I tune all that out and I just watch him play, and he has some amazing talent. He's way quicker than what people give him credit for, and he can really throw that ball. He's very accurate, and he's a powerful thrower. I'm very excited for his career. He's gonna be moving up these rankings even further. And then for Kyler Murray, he's forgotten too. The guy that went from, is he gonna be a professional baseball player? Then he's the number one overall pick. What is he gonna do? He chooses football. He had a lot of hype around him, and lately it's been a lot of nothing around him. And he's got to play better. He's got to get the ball more to Marvin Harrison. Uh, but these Cardinals coaches also have to improve. But I was very close to lowering his stock and putting him in that second tier. Let's see what he does for me in the morning, for you guys at night. He is on a tightrope here, or on that little step right over the everything tier. So maybe a terrible game could move him down, but he probably won't move down just from this one game, but he is on the verge of moving down if he keeps performing under expectations. But I'm keeping him at tier 3 for right now. Going up to the next tier, almost, maybe, Maybe they'll be top 10. They're almost top 10 every year. Are they top 10? Are they right outside of it? These guys, this is kind of where they are. Dak, he's moving up for me. He's kind of always been in this cycle of moving up. Is he one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Oh no. Oh. I've liked a lot what I've seen out of. I liked a lot of what I've seen out of him so far this year, though. And if he can keep showing me those improvements with these injuries in the league to these other quarterbacks, he might make his way into the top 10. Now, if every quarterback was healthy, he would not be getting into the top 10. Sam Darnold, yeah, he is. Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, they're kind of twins, right? They're so close to being the same players. They're gonna have crazy big touchdown games, and they're gonna have games where they turn the ball over a lot. That's what they are. Bo Nix, I haven't liked what I've seen out of him this year, but I kept him in this tier. I didn't drop him. He could be dropped soon, but I need to see his mentality change. I want to see him take more ownership of what he does. I think he will stay though. That's why I kept him in this tier. Same thing with Caleb Williams. People have been really tearing him down, saying that he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. The Bears need to move on. I like a lot what I see from Caleb Williams. He is a good quarterback in this league. He can be a very good quarterback in this league. Right now he is good. I want to see him become very good, but he is very underrated in this league. He's right. I wouldn't say right below the way maybe Darnold and Dak are, even though they're not even right below as well, but they're a little closer to the top 10. But he is in that tier, obviously, below my top 10. So he is close. Now, getting into my top 10, I've been talking about those injuries, and those injuries have really changed my top 10 going into week 4. I had Joe Burrow go out, and I had Jaden Daniels go out of my top 10. Now, going into my top 10, from the tier is Jared Goff. He's another one of those guys that has a lot of great games and a lot of terrible turnover games. But he has a little more great games and a little less turnover games than the other guys. And he's a little bit of a better, more accurate passer. And he has a better pocket presence. He's a lot more calm in the pocket. He gets that number 10 spot. Number 9 is Justin Herbert. He has a lot of the talent. You can see it. He can make a lot of crazy passes, almost up there with the top 3, best passing quarterbacks in the league. Guys like Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, names like that. He's close to them. And he can run. He's a good runner. But it's going to be hard for him to really move up in this top 10 until I see what he does out of the playoffs. His playoff performances are just, I don't think he can even make it to the top 5, honestly, this year until I see what he does in the playoffs. Number 8 is CJ Stroud dropping down. One of the only people to drop down in this top 10. Now, I've been putting a lot of blame on his offensive line, and they deserve it. They really do. But it seems like his confidence in his team has gone down, and that has made his play go down. He's throwing a lot of sloppy passes, a lot of lousy passes. He needs to step up his game. He can definitely be a top 5 quarterback in the league, but I don't think we're going to see that until they improve their offensive line. Number 7 is Baker Mayfield, moving up past CJ Stroud. He was at 10 on my last power rankings. He has um, been a lot more careful with the ball lately. And that's all I told you. If he can be careful with the ball, he can be a top 5 quarterback. If he keeps this up, he's going to keep rising. I need to see him do more of this, though. But he's up there with those guys I named, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, with the best throwers of the football. Number 6, Jalen Hurts. He's a winner. He's clutch. I said it last time. And now this year, he's shown you he can do it on the ground. He can do it in the air. He doesn't get enough credit for the accuracy, especially on his deep balls. He's a very accurate quarterback. Jalen Hurts at number 6. Number 5 is Jordan Love, passing up Jalen Hurts this time in my power rankings. Last time he was below because of his recent playoff performances, but his performances this year have moved him up. I like what I see. I'm a lot more confident in Jordan Love this year. I think he's taken a big step forward. He finally gets into my top 5. Let's see how long he can stay there. Number 4 is Matthew Stafford. I've been talking about him. And just like a lot of other players, I mentioned it last time, in all sports, players are playing till they're older and older and older. They had a little bit of a scare this year. The Rams scared everybody, saying that Stafford has some back issues. But I think they were just overstating it a little bit. Stafford has came in. He's played amazing. It seems like he's going to play sort of on this level until he retires. And as long as he does, he'll be right close or in that top 5. Number 3, going from the number 5 spot to the number 3 spot because of Jaden Daniels' injury, is Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar And also Joe Burrow's injury, that's why he moved to the 3 spot. But Lamar, he's the most exciting player to watch in all of football, even though I'm a Browns fan. It's hard. When I'm doing homework, I can't stop. But, I have to put down my homework for a second. I have to watch this guy because he just makes plays on every play. You could you'll think he's getting a 15-yard sack, but he's not. He's making a 20-yard gain. So you have to always watch him on every play. There's no other player that I feel like you have to respect that much when it comes to just he can make a play out of anything. He really can. Number 2 is Josh Allen. He's sort of like Lamar, where he's one of the most exciting players to watch. Not as exciting, I would say, as Lamar, but I've been talking about how other quarterbacks in this list have interception problems and turnover problems. Josh Allen was one of those guys that had really bad interception problems, but obviously we've seen him fix it a lot last season and this season. He is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life, but unlucky for him, he's behind the number 1 quarterback in the league, staying at the number 1 spot, Patrick Mahomes. People are trying to take him down, trying to say that he's not the best quarterback in the league anymore. How? How is he not the best? He consistently carries this offense. You know what I've seen this year out of Patrick Mahomes? I've seen Travis Kelce injure one of their number 1 wide receiver while Rice is out. I've seen Rice go 100 miles an hour or whatever it was in his car and get suspended. And I've seen Patrick Mahomes carry this offense every single game, make whatever play he has to, whether it's running, whether it's making a crazy pass, whether it's jumping and going backwards or whatever, spinning, whatever he does. I know everyone says the announcers glaze him, and they do a little bit, but I'm like 80% of what the announcers do. I like 80% of what they say is what I think, because when I watch him play, I'm like, are we really getting to see this? I am grateful to watch him play, and he is one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. He, like I said last time, he's fighting with Tom Brady, and if he can show once again this year and go make a far run in the playoffs, it's getting pretty close. I'll be honest with you, it's getting very, very close. But he's just spectacular to watch. He is number 1. It's gonna be hard for him to drop from that number 1 spot. Thank you so much for supporting the Sandbar Playbook. My name is Aidan Egizio. If you want to watch another video, you can click here. If you want to subscribe, you can click right here. So thank you so much. Make sure you comment what you thought, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.